Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel, Cezia.fit here, and I hope you guys are doing well. So in today's video, just wanted to cover what your fat loss journey should realistically look like so that you go into it actually knowing what you're going to face, so that you remove any sort of self-sabotage that will come in the way, because most often they're not. It's not the diet or the training that actually gets people to fail at their journey, but rather it's the self-sabotage when they're met with some sort of resistance along the way. So before we get started, make sure to give this video a like and subscribe if you are new here. It really does support the channel, and I really do appreciate it. And yeah, let's get started. So firstly, realistically, your fat loss journey is going to look like this, okay? So if you were to be weighing yourself each week, what you'll see is, yes, some weeks your weight is going to come down, and then out of nowhere your weight's just going to bump up, and that is when a lot of people freak out. They see the number come up and they're like, holy crap, I've done something wrong, I've failed, I've backtracked in progress, and then ultimately that leads them to feel demotivated, and what happens is then they're more likely to, if they diet, they're more likely to skip that cardio session, to not go to their training session or workout because they feel like crap. But a lot of it is just mental. They make up these scenarios in their own head as to why their weight's gone up, and sometimes it could just be a mere like 100 grams, 0.2 kgs, and you're freaking out. Or perhaps it's 1 kg because you've had a week of going out a bit more and socializing, you had a few events here and there, perhaps you didn't rest as much. So a lot of different reasons, and that's what we're going to go over today, so that hopefully when this happens to you, you can remember this video and you can be like, okay, I'm not going to let myself self-sabotage. So the first reason why your weight may bump up, ladies, is because you're due for your period. Now, you can expect up to 3 to 5 pounds even of weight coming up on the scale due to your period, and this is just due to hormonal fluctuations and water retention. You simply did not just gain 3 to 5 pounds of body fat overnight. Like, that's really not possible unless you were to go and, I don't know, eat a whole supermarket's worth of food. You simply did not gain body fat, and again, it really is just some water weight that's going to come off after your period, and it's just the beauty of being a female. Now, number 2 is that perhaps you had foods with a bit more sodium the night before. Perhaps you went out for a meal, and typically when you go out for food, it's going to be a bit saltier. They're going to have extra oils and extra things in there that's going to make your body retain to a bit more water. And look, again, it's just water retention, it's not body fat. So regardless of what the scale says, it's not body fat, so don't let it get to you. The third reason as to why your weight may have fluctuated or bumped up is because you are training harder, or you've just started a resistance training program. Now, what happens is when your training intensity increases, the volume that you're doing increases, it can cause you to gain weight due to tissue damage and inflammation. Now, when you work out and when you resistance train, basically you cause micro tears to occur in your muscle fibers. Now, this is not a bad thing. I know it sounds scary, like, oh my god, I'm tearing the fibers in my muscle, but that is essentially how they grow and get bigger. So basically you cause these microfiber tears, they then have to repair themselves, and when they repair themselves, they grow back stronger and bigger, and that's how you increase the size of your muscles and also how you get stronger over time at the gym. And that is why you need to be pushing yourself when you are training to cause those tears to happen. Now, the next reason as to why your body weight may have gone up is because you're dehydrated. Perhaps the weather suddenly got hotter and you're still drinking the same amount. Perhaps you started a more intense exercise routine, or you started doing more cardio and you're still drinking the same amount of fluids. And what happens is your body is going to be dehydrated, and because it's not getting enough fluids, it's going to retain as much fluid as possible. Now, that is just your body trying to maintain homeostasis. So as more water is retained, naturally your weight is going to come up. Again, not body fat. Now, another reason why your weight may have gone up is due to alcohol intake. So if you've been out for a crazy night, girls, and you've had a few more drinks than you wanted to, you may find that your weight will come up, and that's because alcohol causes you to be dehydrated, right? So it's a dehydrating agent, and because you're dehydrated, this comes back to what I just talked about, in terms of water intake. When your body is dehydrated, it's trying to maintain homeostasis, so it's then going to try to maintain as much fluid as possible. Now, on top of all these things, there are still a lot of other additional reasons as to why your weight is going to fluctuate. And look, like, even if you were to do the exact same things every single day, eat the exact same foods, your weight will still fluctuate, just because your body is not a robot. Like, so many different processes are going in your body. So what's important is to zoom out. Okay, if you're taking your weight on a weekly basis, zoom out and see what's happening over time. If your weight is steadily coming down over time, that's what matters. It's not what happens between week and week. You know, some weeks it's just going to fluctuate for different reasons and you may never get to the bottom of it, but it's important that you get your weight in and you just move on. And that is why I think it's so important that you have someone who's more objective, like a coach, who can be like, okay, you've done XYZ things, you've been on point, let's give it another week, continue doing what you need to do, and then don't think about your weight, right? Because it's so easy to self-sabotage. Like, we've all been there where we see our weight come up and we're like, holy crap, I need to change all these things. You suddenly ramp up cardio, you suddenly restrict all your calories, and you find that your body is like, holy crap, what's happening? And it's not sustainable, right? Like, maybe you'll then suddenly see your weight come down really quickly, and then that kind of leads you to understand, okay, I have to be more dramatic with my changes. But ultimately it's about creating something that's sustainable for you, so that you lose weight over time in a way that, you know, you can keep it off. I think that's very important. So I hope that these tips or reasons were helpful, and I hope that, you know, next time you see your weight fluctuate, you can just remember that it is going to fluctuate. You are human and you are not a robot. Weight going up or down does not equate to you making progress or not making progress. I think, you know, each has their own kind of right. So if you're on a weight loss journey or a fat loss journey, yes, perhaps you want to be kind of seeing the overall trend come down. But if you're trying to build muscle perhaps, or you're doing a body recomp as your main priority, you may not see the weight come down. It may even bump up, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. So very important to put those things into perspective and not to associate weight gain with it being bad and weight loss, or weight gain being bad, weight loss being good, or weight loss being bad, weight gain being good. Like, each to their own, depending on what your primary goal is, and it's important to put everything into perspective. So yeah, hope this was helpful. If it was, let me know what resonated with you in the comments below. Let me know what other sort of content you would like to see that's helpful for you. And other than that, I hope you have a lovely rest of your night or day wherever you are in the world. Make sure to join the Instagram family, which is czia.fit, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.